Hello and welcome to the program. This edition of Newsroom series covering Nigeria's Northeast. I am Bukola Koka. And first we begin with the top story. The Vice President, Senator Kashim Shettima, has paid an unscheduled visit to Maiduguri, the Borno state capital, to commiserate with the Nigerian army and the state government following a fresh terrorist attack that claimed the life of Brigadier General Hussein Ibrahim and several other officers and soldiers. Mr. Kashim Shettima, who visited on behalf of President Bola Tinubu, expressed deep sorrow over the loss of the gallant officers, describing their sacrifice as a painful reminder of the cost of securing the nation. Addressing troops and government officials during the visit, he paid tribute to the fallen soldiers, noting that their courage and dedication to duty would never be forgotten. He assures the military of the federal government's unwavering support in the ongoing fight against insurgency and other security threats, stressing that the administration remains resolute in its commitment to restoring lasting peace across the country. Mr. Shettima further conveyed President Tinubu's directive that security agencies intensify efforts to track down perpetrators of the attack, vowing that those responsible will be brought to justice.
I wish to convey our deep felt condolences to officers and men of the Nigerian Army and other allied forces for all the lives lost. Our heart bleeds. We grieve with the families. The nation grieves with the families and the supreme sacrifices made by our gallant officers and men. But no matter how long the night is, it must give way to the light of the dawn. We are absolutely certain that in the fullness of time, truth, justice, and light will triumph over darkness and madness. The federal government is firmly and resolutely behind our armed forces. We'll continue to support them. We'll continue to support the bereaved families, and our prayers are with the families of our brave officers and men. May their souls rest in peace. And may God give the families and the good people of this country and the government and people of Borno State and other states of the Federation, including Yobe, Niger, Katsina, Sokoto, Zamfara, Kaduna, the fortitude to bear the irreparable losses. We shall triumph in the end by the grace of God.
The federal government, through the Ministry of Livestock, is forging a partnership with the Taraba state government to establish a livestock academy in the state. The move, which is in collaboration with industry experts, aims to unlock the state's potential in livestock productivity, enhance revenue generation, and boost employment in the state. The Minister of Livestock Development, Idi Mukhtar, leads a high-powered delegation of livestock production experts, investors from Nigeria and overseas to Governor Abu Kefas of Taraba State to seek partnership with the state government for the establishment of a livestock academy. Mr. Mukhtar lists benefits of such a facility, some of which he is positive will assist the state government to train individuals in livestock production and dairy farming. This, according to him, will boost the state's internally generated revenue, reduce unemployment and crime.
The choice of Taraba is very, very obvious. Number one, Taraba State has a disproportionate population of livestock in Nigeria. If you're talking about cow, in Africa, Mambila is number one. Aside from that, the land is vast, fertile, and very, very inviting.
These projected positive outcomes are further demonstrated with practical steps of dairy production. An expert explains how technology is inculcated to get maximum results.
We identified Taraba State University and the Federal University, Wukari, to host our academies. And under the visionary leadership of His Excellency, I believe we can use these educational centres to drive exceptional improvement among the local farmers in Taraba State. We will have a train-the-trainer model. This is where the Professors University in the United States comes in. We will train the local lecturers and the local teachers on how to train the local students. So we can make this a sustainable program, not something short and sweet, but something that will last for decades in the country and establish this academy as the #1 agricultural academy in Nigeria.
Governor Abu Kefas appreciates the federal government's consideration of Taraba for the initiative, announcing the state's readiness to support the project in every way possible.
On 2 occasions, I had conversation with Mr. President. He has shown passion and drive for this program. And after some of the conversation, we decided to establish the Ministry of Livestock Development. And the good thing that the President has done is to appoint the right person that will drive this process. So I want to use this opportunity to thank Mr. President, because if it is left for other people, they will not even think of Taraba. But he knows that what Nigerians need in terms of livestock, Taraba is the home of livestock.
The state government believes the partnership is a win-win type and that the step taken will transform the traditional livestock production practices into a modern, data-driven and commercially viable industry. Staying in Taraba, residents of Wukari, headquarters of Wukari local government, are appealing to the state and federal government to assist in sustaining the relative peace enjoyed in their community. And this follows years of recurring crises and unabated killings of residents by suspected armed men, leading to the displacement of many.
For they belong to you from eternity.
It's not the usual scene of holding dialogue to ensure the return of peace to Wukari local government area after years of recurring crises, but want to celebrate those who have risen through the ranks of the Nigerian army and have contributed to the return of peace in their respective ways. 3 major generals and the president of the Association of National Accountants of Nigeria, who are now the new set of decision makers in the once troubled Wukari community, are urged not to relent in sustaining the gains of peaceful disposition.
Today is about recognizing the dedication, the hard work, discipline, bravery, outstanding performance of our sons and daughters who have made this community proud nationally and internationally.
The Tea versus Jukun crisis, bandits attack, kidnapping, herders-farmers clashes, among others, was before now the order of the day and has negatively affected economic activities and retarded economic development in Wukari. This has also led to the displacement and death of many residents over the years, which residents describe as their dark days.
We saw how it is bad for disunity. Now that peace is reigning, we should put heads together, unite with one another for progress.
With the coming of these 2 governments, from Dario's time to this government, they have been working very well to sustain peace.
The paramount ruler of Kwara Fachindom says the return of peace is worth celebrating, even as it calls for sustained efforts by the state and federal government to maintain peace.
Today is my heart filled with royal pride and fatherly joy as today my heart is filled as we gather to honor our illustrious daughter and 3 worthy sons who are 10 have brought great glory, dignity and recognition to our land.
Meanwhile, the state government has disclosed that it is not relenting in its peace effort and welcomes them to go beyond wars to decision makers.
I want you to know that it is equally an induction ceremony into the Advisory Council of the Wukari Traditional Council. From now onwards, you will bring in your wealth of experience and contribution to the day-to-day administration of this very community.
In jubilation, the community rolled out their drums to celebrate with optimism that Wukari's development will not experience the drawback syndrome that will cripple its growth.
The Yobe State Network of Civil Society Organizations is pledging to collaborate with the state government to consolidate and mobilize youths across the grassroots for the development of the state. This was disclosed at the Governance Summit held in Damaturu, the state capital, by the convener, Mr. Farouk Chiromari, who speaks on the theme, Consolidating Governor Buni's Legacies, Sustaining a Future of Inclusivity in Governance.
Hundreds of youths drawn from the 17 local government areas of Yobe State are attending a leadership summit organized by the Yobe State Center for Leadership and Good Governance. The aim is to consolidate on the achievements of Governor Mai Mala Buni in the last 7 years to foster unity and an inclusive leadership model. It also serves as an avenue to advocate for a sustained youth representation in governance and strengthen youth networks for continuity and legacy preservation.
We are gathered under the theme, Consolidating Governor Buni's Legacies, Sustaining a Future of Inclusivity in Governance. Since assuming office, His Excellency Honorable Dr. Mai Mala Buni CON has demonstrated uncommon confidence in the ability of young people to contribute meaningfully to governance. Your Excellency, sir, we are here today to sincerely appreciate your commitment to youth inclusion and celebrate your visionary leadership in creating institutions and agencies that continue to drive people-centered development across the state.
Representative of the Speaker, Yobe State House of Assembly, acknowledges the contribution of youths towards developing organized societies.
This summit comes at a critical time in our state development journey, when reflection, innovation, and strategic planning must converge to sustain the gain we have collectively achieved. It provides a valuable platform for stakeholders to assess our progress, exchange ideas, and chart a more inclusive and prosperous future for Yobe State. Let me, on behalf of Yobe State House of Assembly, commend the visionary leadership of His Excellency, Governor Dr. Mai Mala Buni Chiromangujiba, whose administration has demonstrated unwavering commitment to good governance, infrastructural development, human capital advancement, and social inclusion.
A communique presented by participants makes recommendations for consideration by Governor Mai Mala Buni for greater youth participation in governance.
One, it's about our commitment to party unity, loyalty, and electoral mobilization. And this entails that the summit reaffirmed its collective realignment with the leadership and political direction of His Excellency Honorable Dr. Mai Mala Buni Chiromangujiba, CON. We also advocate for a sustained youth representation in governance. While the summit appreciates the governor's commitment to nurturing young leaders, the summit strongly also advocates for the institutionalization and expansion of youth inclusion across all tiers of governance, particularly in local government councils, the state and the national assemblies, the executive council, and other strategic political structures.
They are hopeful that more support will be given to the youths at all levels to ensure the speedy development of the state as it continues to recover from years of insurgent attacks.
And there's more to come from Yobe State as Governor Mai Mala Buni approves the employment of 198 graduates of the Shehu College of Nursing and Midwifery. Stay with us for details just ahead. Welcome back. In an effort to close healthcare manpower gaps, the Yobe State Governor, Mai Malabuni, has granted approval for the employment of 198 graduates of the Shehu Sule College of Nursing and Midwifery in Damaturu. The governor, who was represented at the graduation ceremony of the students, also approved the appointment of the outgoing provost of the college as the permanent secretary.
A procession by officials of the Shehu Sule College of Nursing and Midwifery, Damaturu, alongside graduating students, signals the commencement of the graduation ceremony. It's a happy moment for the college. Not only is it graduating over 400 nurses and midwives, over 90% of the demands of the college have also been realized under Governor Mai Malabuni's administration.
Public respect us must. They consider what we are doing, and the government consider us, and that is about the estimate. Now, the earlier theory before the review is stopped at 5, where self-actualization, once you achieve this, you have moved to the higher, but recently it was upgraded to 7. So in self-actualization, where there is creativity, inner potential, His Excellency constructed new building, new program that His Excellency have just commissioned. It's about actualization. Number 6 is cognitive needs for relevant knowledge and skills. That is why His Excellency constructed the library. And you also increase students' academic performance because of the library, and then additional nursing program, the pediatric nursing we have seen.
The college grew in the last 7 years from a school running 3 programs to a college running 7 programs, including 2 post-basic nursing programs, 2 post-basic programs in nursing and midwifery, and pediatric nursing, fully accredited by both the Nursing and Midwifery Council of Nigeria and the National Board of Technical Education. The college also runs a Bachelor of Nursing Sciences degree program in collaboration with the College of Medical Sciences, Yobe State University.
Thank you so much, Your Excellency. After presentation of the graduates by the provost of the college, Governor Mai Malabuni, represented by his deputy, Idi Barde Gubana, reveals that investment in the healthcare manpower is yielding results.
As a center of excellence that is producing professional manpower that can compare favorably with our peers anywhere in the world, I'm equally pleased to observe with sense of satisfaction that our investment in this institution to improve our personnel needs in health facilities across the states in line with the reforms initiated by administration in the health sector is yielding positive results. Therefore, our investment in this college has no doubt proven worthy, profitable, and beneficial to the people of Yobe State.
The governor also approves the employment of 198 graduating nurses, 150 community midwives, among others.
Let me use the opportunity to appreciate and commend the outgoing provost of the college, Hajia Hadid Sabo, for leading a management team that has set a high standard for academic excellence in the college. Thank you, Hajia Hadiza. You have made us proud. The head of service is directed to process the employment of the 106.
And religious status.
There is also an oath taking and induction of 62 first higher national diploma students who will be participating in a 1-year mandatory internship before proceeding for their national youth service.
And now to some politics. Members of the People's Democratic Party, loyal to the Turaki-led faction in Borno State, recently met with party members in Biu, southern Borno, ahead of the 2027 general election. The leaders of the party were received by supporters and later moved to the palace of the Emir of Biu, Alhaji Mustafa Umar Mustafa. They insist the PDP does not have any faction in Borno State, as the Turaki-led group is rooted in the grassroots and will ensure they participate fully in the 2027 general elections.
You can see all the 9 local government chairmen, 101 ward chairmen, all of them are here. All of them are here. You saw the mammoth crowd. You saw the convoy that escorted us to the venue. In Borno South, in Borno State generally, we don't have any PDP of that or any PDP of this. We are one PDP. Whatever happens in PDP, we are one PDP in Borno State. There is no faction in the state. We did everything according to the guidelines that is provided by the INEC and also the electoral law, where we did our ward congresses, local government congresses, state congresses, and even the zonal congress.
As far as we are concerned, the Tenimu Turaki faction, as you call it, of the PDP, is the genuine PDP, is the people that have the party at heart, the nation at heart. We cannot go to the other side because the other sides have already decided that they don't want to produce even a presidential candidate in the next election. And as a political party, it is binding in our constitution that we must produce all candidates to an election. And we are ready to produce candidates from top to bottom.
The movement for credible elections in Nigeria is demanding the amendment of the 2026 Electoral Act to reflect real-time transmission of results in the 2027 general elections. The group took the stance after a town hall in Gombe State, which saw a large turnout of civil society groups, leaders of thought, and other critical stakeholders in the election ecosystem. The group is calling for institutional reform to engender a truly independent electoral umpire.
The Northeast Stakeholders Town Hall Advocacy and Sensitization meeting, organized by the Movement for Credible Elections in Nigeria, is happening in Gombe State, with significant turnout from leaders of thought and community groups. The meeting, which featured panel discussions and other interactive segments, had 2026 Electoral Act on the front burner.
We must make sure that the electoral bill that was originally given to the National Assembly, which the House of Reps actually agreed to in terms of the highest level of transparency through the electronic transmission. Movement for credible elections is not simply an exercise to just gather together and talk and go away. It requires taking responsibility. So I'm begging you, the people of the Northeast, to take responsibility. It is election time again. Now, think of it. It was just like yesterday. We had 2022 election. And suddenly, they are busy preparing for another election in 2027. And I want you to join this movement in demanding for a credible election in our country.
One of the fallouts of the town hall is the demand for the amendment of the 2026 Electoral Act to include real-time transmission of results in 2027 general polls, to block leakages and uphold the integrity of election outcomes.
The resolution that we have here was very clear that the current Electoral Act does not serve the interests of the Nigerian people. So therefore, we move a resolution that Electoral Act should be revisited and the people's views should be carried. And the people's view is simple. We want to have real-time release of election results. We want to make sure that every Nigerian has the right to vote and be voted for. We also say no to the revalidation of voters' registration that INEC was trying to embark on.
Political science academics also raised concerns with the popularity of money politics and faulty electoral laws.
For quite a long time, Nigeria has been yearning for a credible election. The fact that we have been experiencing issues of irregularities, money politics, and other issues that have been challenging the system. So we hope that in the next coming election, everything will be set and people will be much more aware of how to choose their leaders.
Credible election is the backbone of democracy globally. Without credible election, we envisage that it may usher a government that will face a crisis of legitimacy. And this will be a fundamental catastrophe for the survival of democracy in Nigeria. INEC should play by the rules of the game, because INEC is supposed to be an impartial empire that is expected to conduct free, fair, and acceptable election. I think they should do their part they should go back to electoral reforms and scrutinize them for the second time and make sure that they meet the standard.
The movement for credible elections in Nigeria is backed by national opposition figures such as former Vice President Atiku Abubakar, Peter Obi, Rabiu Kwankwaso, and other civil society groups.
The Gombe state government says it will continue to support programs that empower women and engender a greater sense of inclusion in keeping with Governor Inuwa Yahaya's inclusive growth model. The commitment was made by the state's deputy governor, Manasseh Jatau, during the graduation ceremony of 15 certified female heavy-duty truck drivers trained under the Women on Wheels initiative. Describing the development as novel, Mr. Jatau says bringing women into the haulage and logistics space will not only enhance productivity, but serve as a means of livelihood for families.
We are all out to ensure that we encourage women to take into any profession, any activity that is of interest to them. You may be surprised. We sometimes confine some activities to certain gender. Like here, we are only used to seeing women frying akra, but in Niger Republic, which is one of the countries I've over-visited, it's the men that fry akra and even yam on the road. So some of these things, I think we don't have a clear reason. And if we don't have a clear reason, and based on the fact that I said women face more burden than men, there is no reason why we cannot encourage women to take to any profession that they are interested in. Whether it's mechanic, whether it's building, whether it's carpentry, please let us break that. I don't know whether we'll call this ignorance. Let women be engaged in everything.
And that's our offering on the program today, this edition that covered Nigeria's Northeast. We'll be back again same time next week. I am Bukola Koka. Bye for now.